Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I took inspiration from a video by Kaylee. She put out a while ago and it was about her makeup before YouTube. I think she did claim credit from someone else but I can't remember who that was, so I will just link Kaylee's video and Kaylee's channel below. And the way she did the video was that she did half of her face using makeup she uses now and half of her face using makeup or techniques that she used before YouTube. I'm not comfortable in applying makeup on camera or anything yet. Keep going to film a video of me applying makeup. I've had one on my list for a while. I wanted to film being like 5-minute makeup, basically my morning makeup routine, just a dead basic look. Every time I go to film I just change my mind because I'm comfortable enough sitting here talking to you, but I'm not comfortable enough filming myself putting makeup on because my technique is probably awful, and I can't get around to filming it. So I was originally going to film the video in the same format that Kaylee did, but I just couldn't do it, so I thought I'd just show you what I used to wear before YouTube, because most of the products I still do have. Some of them I still use, some of them are ones that I bought as backups but never got around to using the backup, so a lot of these are unopened. For those of you who don't know and haven't been subscribed to my channel for very long, I've actually probably only been wearing proper makeup, shall we say, like proper makeup, for about 2 years. I think one of the only times in my life prior to now wearing makeup was my wedding day when I got my makeup done professionally and I had a full face on, false lashes and all, and that was probably the first time in my life that I had done that. And maybe that was the turning point because I look back on wedding photos and seeing that I did look nice with a full face of makeup on. With regards to foundation, I've actually been wearing liquid foundation for about 2 months. Something I wore on my wedding day, but not something I'd ever applied myself. I think it stems from the fact that when I was 15-16 on year 11 school picture day, I decided that should be the first time that I tried foundation. And I remember borrowing my mum's stick foundation from Avon. It wasn't the right shade in the slightest. It was completely orange. I didn't know about blending the jawline. I didn't know about blending full stop, and it looked awful. That kind of scarred me when it came to makeup, because then when I progressed to college, a lot of my friends were wearing makeup and I would literally slap on some lip balm and be done. Didn't even wear mascara or anything back then. My progress to the point where I am now with makeup and how more comfortable I am with makeup has been a long process, because I'm now 31, so it stems 15-16 years, whereas most people by the time they're 16, especially some of the 14-year-olds that I see walking around, their makeup is amazing. I didn't know how to do that when I was 14. It blows my mind. So enough of the rambling, enough of the backstory. Let's get into my old makeup. I'll start with the foundation that I used to wear, and it was the Bare Minerals SPF Original Powder Foundation, and I am in the shade Fairly Light. This one has yet to be opened because it was before I opened this that I made the decision to try liquid foundation. So this has been something that I've continued to wear while watching YouTube, but it's been YouTube that's made me realise there's so many foundations out there. I should go back and try liquid foundation again and not just be permanently scarred from that stick foundation from 15 years ago. I say this is unopened because I am now quite enjoying using liquid foundation. Again, it's been a bit of an arduous task to find one that works for me because I think my skin has dried out. So I do believe if I went back to this now, it wouldn't look as good as it used to because I have got drier skin now. But yeah, this was the foundation I used to wear. And this is the Kabuki brush from Avon that I used to apply it with. This brush is clean, it has just got a nude coloured top to it. The only concealer that I ever wore was the Barry M Flawless Light Concealer, and I used to put this on blemishes because I did used to get quite a lot of breakouts. I still use this because I love this for blemishes. The blusher that I used to use was from the brand 17 at Boots, which is now sadly discontinued, but only very recently. And before they did discontinue, they had a sale, so I did actually pick up one of their blushes, and this is in the shade The Cheek of It. It is a really nice pink shade and I think the shade might actually be China Pink. I think the cheek of it is actually the sort of the line of blushes. And even though this is a new purchase, in the days before YouTube, 17 blush was what I used to wear. I had one that was a slightly more reddish tone than this, and that was one I used to use all the time. I was probably too heavy-handed with it because it was quite a dark shade. So when I bought this, it was kind of for nostalgia purposes, but I haven't actually even tried this yet. Because again, I didn't want to use it because I'm really enjoying the ones that I'm using at the moment, so I didn't want to tarnish this until I'm actually ready to use it. Before YouTube, I never used to actually fill my brows in at all, which, considering where I'm from, for those of you who don't know, I'm from Liverpool, which is a city in England. We have a thing here which has been around for quite a few years called the scouse brow, and that is basically really thick eyebrows. Google it, I'm sure something will come up, but it is basically like really, really thick, dark eyebrows. And I think at the time that people were starting to fill in the brows and I didn't watch YouTube, that was the only sort of influence of how brows should look that I really had, was seeing all these scouse brows around me and thinking I do not want to look like that. The people around here have gone away from that slightly, but there are still a few scouse brows going around. I know it's really bad to say against my own city, but scouse brows was a funny trend. But that was my only influence, so I was like, I am not filling my brows in, they're fine, I don't want to look like that. Then I started watching YouTube and people were filling the brows in naturally, and that's when I thought I will try this Rimmel Brow This Way powder because it's really easy to use and it was only a few pounds, so if it didn't work out, I didn't waste much money. So even though this is technically something I started using after YouTube, there was no brow product before YouTube. But this one, it didn't take long of watching people with normal eyebrows to get this kind of thing. It was very early days of YouTube. On to eyeshadow palettes. This eyeshadow palette will be no surprise to anyone because this is, I think, most people's first high-end eyeshadow palette. Don't get me wrong, I had plenty of singles over the years. Again, quite a few I think from the brand 17. I remember having a pastel blue, a really bright dark green, if that makes sense. I had a shimmery gold, which isn't far from the Colourpop Super Shock shadow that I have now. I had one of them in 17. I used to buy a lot of singles or duo eyeshadow palettes from Avon and things like that. I never had a full-blown palette. So when this palette came out and the fact that it was neutral tone, this was at the very, very beginning of my YouTube days. I think that's how I actually ended up watching YouTube, because I was looking for videos of people swatching this and people wearing this to see if could I actually create makeup looks with this, because I was used to just putting one shade all over my lid. And at the time, I think the only high-end eyeshadow I had was one of the Benefit pots. I think they've changed the name of them now. I think they're creaseless eyeshadows or something, but they used to be called something else. They had that in the shade Flatter Me, if I remember the name of that correctly, which was sort of, I think it was very similar to Toasted actually. So again, that was something that drew me to this palette because it was along the same spectrum of colours. I thought I probably could do something with this, and that is how I fell down the YouTube rabbit hole, because I was looking for videos about this, I was looking for reviews about this, and that was when I first started subscribing. I don't reach for this as much anymore, but I don't think I will ever get rid of this because it was my first high-end eyeshadow palette, and you can see that it is very well loved. I mentioned quite a few products that I used to use makeup wise were from Avon. That was probably one of my main accesses to makeup because my mum used to get makeup from Avon, so I would try her makeup and then I'd purchase my own. The couple of brands that they used to have in Avon was, they used to have like a teen brand called Colour Trend, and that was really, really cheap makeup, and it was for young people, so it was like brighter colours. It was like blue eyeliners and bubblegum coloured lipsticks and things like that. And they also had these eyeliner pencils. Now I don't know how long I've had this for. Because I used to use it in my waterline, I haven't used this for a long time, but again, I think I'm just keeping it for nostalgia purposes. It is absolutely battered. This is just a brown eyeliner pencil. I just used to use this in my waterline. How it's not smaller, I don't know. I do think it did start quite big, but I used to like using it blunt. I didn't used to sharpen it very often because I used to kind of smudge it. But I believe these were only ever like £1 back in the day, or 99p or something like that. So this is definitely one of the very first makeup products of my own that I purchased from Avon. And again, I don't think I'm ever going to use it. It is with my current makeup. I'm scared to use it because it's that old, but I can't part with it because it was my first makeup purchase with my own money, I think. Then have another Avon eyeliner, and this is one of their glimmer sticks, and this is in Faceted Onyx. This is one of the more recent ones that I bought, but again, this is probably quite old. I think I used to have one of the brown ones in this as well, and this was what I used to do eyeliner. Because I didn't really wear a lot of eyeshadow, I would just sometimes just wear eyeliner, and I would get the ones that were sparkly, so and apply quite thick, so it will create a dramatic look on your eye. I did have quite a collection of these, and I did get rid of most of them in my eye makeup declutter because I just don't reach for them anymore because I like liquid eyeliners now. The mascara that I used to always wear, it was the Clinique Lash Power mascara. I think again, a lot of my influence for my makeup comes from my mum. I think my mum bought something from Clinique and got a little sample kit with it, as they do occasionally do, and inside was a little one of these, and it was the first ever mascara that I tried of my own, and I really enjoyed it. And I saved up then to purchase the full-size one, and I used it for years. I don't know how many of them I bought, but every time I'd run out I'd save up and go and buy another one. And this, I've probably had this for at least a year or so now, because again, I think it went on sale, so I stocked up on it, and then suddenly found Lash Princess and Lash Sensational and all these great drugstore mascaras that I suddenly didn't find myself reaching for this as much. And I can't remember the last time I actually wore this mascara. If anything, this is going to make me want to wear it again, because I did used to love wearing it, and it is a great everyday mascara, and it is really long wearing. It doesn't flake at all. I think I've slept in it a good few times in my younger years when I'd wear it to go out and not take my makeup off of bed, and I wouldn't wake up with panda eyes, so it is a great mascara still. Another Clinique product that I purchased was a lip product, and this is one of their long-lasting soft matte lipsticks in the shade Beauty, and this is a kind of dusky rosy pinky shade. It is slightly more dusty on the lips. It is a bit battered and it is well worn. So Clinique was definitely my first high-end brand that I ever purchased from, and that was because my mum did. Again, another one that was one of my first high-end purchases. I used to love this lipstick. It probably is too old and probably needs binning. It doesn't look right, but I haven't reached for it for a while, so I'm going to maybe try it one more time and see what it's like, and then I might get rid of it, although I'm not too sure. I tend to keep things for nostalgia purposes. Does anyone else do that? Things that clearly need binning and they just don't because it's got sentimental reasons. The final thing to mention is one of the Maybelline Baby Lips, and this is just a lip balm. And before I did wear lipstick, I just used to wear lip balm, and this was probably the main one that I used to purchase. I don't think I liked this one a lot. This is more of a like glittery one, because it's called Crystal Kiss, and I don't think I like this one. I don't think it was as moisturising as the rest of them because it's a bit scratchy with whatever's in it, and I don't think I think the shade was a bit too light for me as well. But I used to buy quite a few of these, and I also used to buy a lot of the Nivea lip balms, but I've binned them because they were really old. I haven't got any of them left, but they were what I tended to wear. I used to, if I wasn't wearing a coloured one of these, I liked to wear the light pink Nivea one or the red strawberry Nivea one. and that was it. Nowadays I don't find myself wearing lip balms at all. I just wear lip oils or lipsticks, and I probably could do wearing a lip balm every now and again to moisturise my lip because I'm a matte liquid lipstick lover and they are not kind on your lips. So that is it for an insight of what my makeup collection was like prior to starting my YouTube journey. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks!